Hey everybody, I'm Dan Kirk Outdoors. I made a simple, easy, fast, collapsible, take this thing apart, Smitty Sled. Check this thing out. Check out this video and watch how I make this. It's pretty simple. There it is. I'm going to make a Smitty Sled. This should be easy, simple, fast, collapsible. You're gonna need some skis. Lots of guys use cross-country skis. They're long. It's great. They work awesome. I don't have a big vehicle. I don't have a truck. I have a small SUV type. I want something that'll fit in the back of the vehicle better. So I'm gonna use a downhill ski so I can get away with something shorter because they're wider. These are 140 centimeters long. I got them for 10 bucks at Goodwill. I would like them to be a little longer, but that's what they had. Experiment if you want. I'll show you how these work out. So I got that. What do you need for your Smitty Sled? You're going to need 4 PVC 1 1/4 inch end caps. Those will go down on the skis. You will need 4 90-degree corner pieces like that. That'll help make the frame. You'll need some 1-inch PVC. I bought myself a 10-foot section of that. So we'll be cutting that. You'll need a drill, will help. I'm gonna need use some PVC glue. Not a lot. I'm not gonna glue all parts, just some of it, just so the little frame that I make stays together. I will use some friction tape. So get some friction tape. And then I also bought a 2-foot section of 1 1/4 inch Schedule 40 PVC. First step is to remove the bindings. Don't throw away the screws. You'll need the screws. I'm going to reuse those screws to attach these caps to the ski. Another awesome tool. You can just use a saw. Do that number, but this is a PVC cutter, and that works great. But first thing I got to do is get rid of these bindings. There's a bunch of screws in there, but don't throw those away. Use whatever kind of ski you want. Have a drill bit to drill little holes in here. I'll tell you what size I'm using, but the sizes might vary depending on the screws that come out of your skis. And if you see a dog running around, his name is Bobber. He's half Chihuahua, half Pomeranian. And he hates you. Yeah, he does. He's old. I don't think he wants to know anybody new ever again. So when visitors come over, he's just a big jerk. Aren't you, Bobber? Aren't you? Yeah, you are. Come here. Come here. Here he is. He's nice. He's nice to me. He needs to go outside. If you're gonna mess with downhill skis, this piece, if that's down, go ahead and pop that up. You can get to those back screws here a little easier. Pop that up. And then when you push that down, you'll have access to that screw. So take that screw out. When that screw is out, that whole piece can come off. So it'll be easier to get these screws in here. The front piece of the binding was just those 3 screws, so I took those 3 out and boom, that comes off nice and easy. So now you can access these screws, but they're a bit hidden and still hard to get a straight shot. But there is a little piece back here. See that? If you turn that, it backs that all up. There. Now those screws are nice and exposed. All right, let's continue. You got the bindings off. The next step is to drill a couple of holes into the end caps and fasten them to the skis. So I will do that. I will use a 3/16 inch drill bit so they fit pretty snug. And then I'll drill into the ski. Don't drill all the way through the ski. That's important. If you're gonna do this in the living room floor, make sure your wife's not around. Yeah, she's at work. I will clean up. She'll never know that I did this in here. All right, I'm gonna get a piece of wood so I can drill down into something, make that easier. I'm back. Did you notice I left? I don't know, maybe I should put 3 in. Would it hurt to put 3 screws in? There's plenty of room. I have enough screws. Got some long ones, some short ones. All right, those 4 are done. Next step, figure out where on here I want them. I think I want my long beams to be about 27 inches. There's a center mark on the ski where the bindings were, which hold the best position for weight distribution. So I want to go on equal distance on each side. So I decided I want about 27 inches here, so I'll do 13.5 up that way, 13.5 back that way. Just gonna grab a Sharpie to make marks. I have noticed that the downhill skis I'm using get pretty thin, so a little bit longer would definitely be beneficial. If you have the room for cross countries are definitely thicker, longer. So there's that. All right, now to screw these in place. I took that one off because it wasn't sitting flush to the ski. I need to drill my hole out a little more. Just to be careful I don't drill through. Finally got that flush. I just didn't want to drill through the ski, so I was very cautious as to how far I drilled. But that's very good. Let's move on to the back side. Yes, they're attached. Woo! Then I want to make some posts that stick up out of here. 4 of those from my friend Brian's experimentation. He started out like a foot high, and you just didn't need to be that high because they didn't sink into the snow that much. You just need to be above the snow. The skis will sink in a couple of inches maybe. So if I'm up 7-8 inches, that'll be good. Or even a little less. So I think I'm gonna make 4.5 inch posts that'll go down into here. All 4 of those, and then we'll use 1 inch. We'll slide into here so you can take this thing apart very easily, which will be awesome. Throw it in your trunk, throw it in the back of your car, because the skis aren't that long. It'll be awesome. So how about I cut 4.5 inches. So I'll do that. Measure 4.5. Here you can use a little hacksaw or just a ripping saw. I can use this. Extra. Just needed that 2-foot section. All right. I got 4 pieces. These 4 pieces go in here. Yeah. Whew, there we go. So these pieces will go in here. So I need a chunk to drop down into here. So since I made these 4.5, 5.5 should be fine, because this will go an inch. So go an inch in, so it'll sit up, and then those will go down. I'll show you. This is so cool. So you gotta measure 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. To make this smaller, to make it easier to work with here. I'm gonna cut 4 pieces, 5.5 inches each. That'll slip down in here. It'll just slide right down in. And when you're done using it for the day, you can take the whole thing out. It is so cool. Ta-da! 4. All right, now I need these. I need that piece cut here. What do we got? Because I want to be an inch inside. It's be 26-inch pieces I need to cut here. Slide down in there. That's neat. Do the other one, and then the crosswise, think like 17 inches across should be good. And you can always make it wider if you need to. I was hoping I had enough with just one 10-foot length of 1-inch PVC, and I do. So that is good news. There. Cool. Right here, that's what you got to do next. Should I just go grab my sled just to check, just to see? Yeah, I think so too. I'll go get it. Don't go anywhere. All right, so I had it about 17 inches wide. Brought my sled in. So if it's 17 wide, that'll sit. It's about that right there on the ground. It'll sit right on there pretty nicely. That's 17. So I think that'll work. All right, crossbar, 17 inches. Woohoo! There it is. Are you done? Not quite. But look at that. You can just wrap that up. You're good to go. You just take that along with you. Throw that in the back. Do you have to glue it? No. No, you don't have to glue it. But I'm thinking I will glue these here so that just doesn't fall apart. And maybe glue these pieces. Well, if I glue these pieces, I can't make it any higher. And I might want it higher. And no need to glue these pieces either. So the weight's on there and they're pushed down in there pretty tight. But what I want to do is I brought friction tape. So the next step, I'm going to wrap this with the friction tape. And the final step would be to add a rope. Drill holes in the ends of the skis and put a rope. Yeah, baby. Woo! There it is. Should help with a little sliption, yeah, a little slippage that might happen. Oh, how is that? That's exciting. Looks cool. Drill some holes, add a rope, and I'm done. So something else you'll need is tow rope. I'm gonna just drill a hole in here and on the other one, add the tow rope. Oh, I'll have to take it for a test drive. Got a 3/8 inch bit. Better do a good cleaning before my wife gets home. Yes. Beautiful. I think I'll glue it some other time. I believe I'm just gonna glue these four or two, and two. So these 4 posts in place. I don't think I need to ever take them apart. But let's go try this out. Let's see how it works. I imagine on days with lots of snow, I'll put my flip over on here as well. I've attached skis to the bottom of that already, but it'd still be a lot easier on this. Pretty sure it would be. Curious and excited to get this out on some real ice and not have to plow snow with my sled. That's gonna be really nice for some long walks on Lake Winnebago and Poigan too.